Hello everyone, it's Holly and I am back for our second video on dealing with the narcissist in the workplace. But before we get into today's content, I want to clarify why I'm doing these videos. I am doing these videos because I'm aware that dealing with the narcissist can have a direct impact on your self-esteem and on your confidence. And recognizing this has actually been a big part of what has built my confidence coaching career now, because I help people rebuild themselves, because most of us who have been in corporate America have dealt with some type of narcissist in the workplace, and typically it's someone who's been in a leadership role. So I'm aware of the problem and I'm here to help fix that problem. So a couple of weeks ago I talked to you guys about how to recognize a narcissist in your workplace, some of the signs and some of the behaviors. Today, I want to talk about how employees handle narcissism in the workplace. And what I share with you will probably not surprise you. But I also want to address why things haven't really changed, even though there's this heightened awareness of narcissism in the workplace. I want to talk about why things have not changed. So first, how do employees handle narcissism in the workplace? They submit. A lot of people just submit to that narcissist or that bully because they don't know how to handle them. They don't want to deal with it. It's easier just to go with the flow, talk about that person behind his or her back like crazy, but go with the flow. And it's also a paycheck, right? People don't want to deal with it because they want to keep their home up. They want to keep those four walls up and pay for their kids to go to college. It's easier to submit and just live day to day, bitch about it, and just keep moving. I'm sure you guys have seen that. I've seen it and I've done it. The second way an employee will deal with the narcissist is seek his or her approval. It's kind of like a mind game, right? Like even though you know they're not treating you well, you constantly look for their validation. It's almost as if you think if you get their validation that you can get a breakthrough and that you'll connect with that person on some level. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because, like I said in the first video, these people really aren't capable of connection or emotion. And in my experience, in different meetings, I have seen people really try to seek approval from the narcissist, trying to constantly outdo each other, outperform. You know, they're kind of climbing all over each other, trying to show who can be the very, very best. And guess what? The narcissist loves that because they get their supply that way. They love to see people climb over each other to try to get, again, his or her validation. It's kind of part of it. Last part in how employees will respond to the narcissist is they will emulate the narcissist. They begin to act like the narcissist. They begin to think that is how you are supposed to work and that is how you are supposed to lead. And this is what lends to the company culture. I know it because I've done it and I've seen it done. So that's a big lesson, is they start to emulate the narcissist. That is something that you have to learn to stop, and we'll get to that in another video. But I want to make sure that you're aware of it. Okay, so why is this still a problem? Now that we know these things about narcissism, more and more people are talking about it. Why is it still a problem? First one is because employees are afraid. They don't want to bring it up. Like I said before, they don't want to mess with their money. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to talk about it. They'd rather just be liked, go to work Monday to Friday, and get it done, no matter how much abuse they have to take. I don't blame them. There's really no safe way out. Companies struggle recognizing narcissism in the workplace. You know why? Because in a lot of situations, it's their culture. It's part of their company fabric. And it's been like this for 20 years, so why would you expect something to change? So companies have a hard time identifying it because it's not something that's really an issue. It's just who they are. It's also still a problem because the leadership team is typically made of narcissists, right? And if the leadership team thinks everything's okay, even though they're displaying poor behavior, everything's great. Why would I change anything? And I'm having people emulate me now, right? So, hey, I'm getting what I want. So that's another reason it's not changing. The people at the top are still in that narcissist behavior cycle. Lastly, why it's still a problem is because HR doesn't know how to handle it. And I'm not blaming HR. You know, I don't know if there's a handbook for HR specialists to deal with narcissism in their workplace, but in my experience, that has not ever been a part of what they've been trained to do. It's a whole different vocabulary. It's a whole different personality disorder. And this is all just now coming to light. But that's another reason why it's the same. Okay, so what now? What are you supposed to do? Now we know how employees respond. Now we know why some things have not changed, or a lot of things have not changed. Well, in my next video, I'm going to give you 5 tips as to how to deal with problems with narcissists at work. But I'll give you a hint right now. The first hint is when you reveal them, you beat them. That means when you understand who they are and you can see how they're treating others, that's when you get to beat them, because you get to call them out, and you will have specific verbiage and specific actions to do so, because you deserve to be the best employee that you can be, or be the best entrepreneur that you can be. Okay, I'm going to share that video in a couple of weeks. I'll give you a couple of weeks to absorb this, and then I'll give you my 5 tips on how to deal with it.